Okay, Xtool video. We're going to look at reports. We're going to look at data playback. We'll pick this one. And we can select all 8 PIDs. Then if we select custom, we can then select combine, which is what I'd usually want to do. And then we can play, and we see on this side we have all the different scales, and it's set up so that it will do full scale. Right now we have 8 PIDs displaying graphically, which I would record all 8 PIDs when I do a road test, and then look at the PIDs, and some of them you might think are not really significant, so it's easy to get rid of them. So if there's too much information, you can go back and we'll go back one more time, and then we have several selected. So let's say we don't need to look at bank 2. We'll just get rid of everything that applies to bank 2. And then we'll display it. Generally, I would want to combine, and now we're only showing 4 PIDs. So if we decided we didn't want to look at all 8 PIDs right now, we're looking at just the 4. And in a minute we'll start seeing some curves. It's important that when you road test, set it to record, and then pause it, then take a ride and unpause it and record what you want to look at. If you want to look at operating speed or highway speed or acceleration and deceleration, then look at that. If you're sitting at a traffic light and you don't want to record it idling, then hit pause and then resume it again when the light turns green, so that you're not collecting a lot of data that you really don't want to look at. Here's another recorded session. And this time I'm recording mass airflow sensor, throttle position sensor, oxygen sensor, engine speed, and the air fuel sensor. Now right now there's an example of why it's good to pause. So it'll take a little while for the data to mean something. Now here we're starting to see some curves, or zigzags, whatever you want to call them. Okay, now we're starting to see some stuff that we can look at. And of course we can pause this, and we can look at the different curves and see what the oxygen sensor is doing. First, what the air fuel sensor is doing. The thing I like about this is the air fuel sensor, the scales are all adjusted differently. We'll go a little further. Eventually it'll adjust the scale so that your curves are full scale as the sensors warm up. . Okay, you see the scale changed for the air fuel sensor. Oh, once it gets operating. See, of course, you need to watch that and see if the scales are what you want to be looking at, especially when you start a car up and it's cold. The scales may change as you drive it for a while. And this record is a boring one, which is good in this case. We're comparing voltage and battery packs on a hybrid vehicle, and we'll compare 8 and we'll pause it. Custom data, combine and play. Now we have 8 different scales there. We're looking at 8 different things, but we see one fat line, and that's boring. But the good thing about that is all the battery packs are very, very close. If you see the numbers at the top, they're all in the millivolt range difference. If we had one battery pack that was acting differently, then that would indicate a problem. But for now, it's boring, but it's a good thing. That means that the batteries are even. Now I can't record all 16 blocks, but I can do, or excuse me, all 14 blocks. But I can compare battery voltage block 1, which is stable, with voltage of the rest of the 14 that we can't display in this view. So as the car's being driven and it gets busier, you'll start to see how some of the lines separate very slightly, but pretty much they're all staying together. Now if I had a bad battery block, it would show something different. You would have one line that's varying from the majority of the lines. Okay, this is another look at what you can do for recorded data. We're going to look at data view, and we're going to look at well, I wasn't going to look at this one, but I'll show it to you anyway. This one, this is a bug that actually they fixed, and they fixed it very quickly. I have a lambda of 14.489, and that was a bug, and they I reported it to Xtool, and they very quickly fixed it. A few days later, they sent me an upgrade with that bug fixed. So we'll go back to where it's fixed, and there it's fixed. It's what it should be. And anyway, yeah. In this view, you have a cursor that you can drag if you want to compare values at a specific time in the test drive, and you drag the cursor, and that'll tell you what's going on with whatever sensor. It reports the actual values and the actual position in the graph. And so that with a tool rather than my drive fingers. Oh, actually, if I just touch different points here, it'll go to that point. So that's another neat thing you can do with the graphic capability of the Xtool D8W. Here's a clip of how much time it takes to scan an entire vehicle. This vehicle doesn't have a lot of modules, but it seems to find the fault quickly and generate a report pretty quickly. You can also email a report directly from the scan tool if you're assuming you're connected to your Wi-Fi. Okay, this is just a little shot of some of the other things that the scanner can do. This is a Ford F-150, and there's a bunch of OEM specific codes that it shows. I didn't go very far with these because the owner of the vehicle didn't care about them. He's more interested in why the four-wheel drive wasn't functioning the way it should. There was a code related to that, but it seems to have the capability to interrogate a lot of modules. That particular F-150 had a lot of different modules on it, and it seemed pretty happy to look at all of them and diagnose the trouble codes and also be able to perform activations and things on them.